Hi guys, welcome to MathsCube. Today we are attempting physics paper from Advanced Secondary Unit 1 Mechanics and Materials. This one is from Jan 2020. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question is, which of the following quantities has the SI base units kg meter square, that's second minus cube, second to the minus cube. So these are the options. A, force. So let's look at force. What is force? I'll write down the force one now, because force is m into a, and it can be also written as kg into meter per second square, or yep. So force will not be our answer. Looking at momentum, it is velocity into mass, so that will be kg into meter per second, and that's not either. We look at power. Power can be calculated as what you can say, force, or mass into area upon t, so that can be our answer. Power can be our answer. Work done cannot be our answer, because work done has kg meter square, second to the power minus square, so it can't be an answer. The second question states that which of the following statements describe the gravitational field strength acting on a body at a point. So guys, use your common sense, save your time. Whenever gravitational field strength is being talked about, it's not even talked about length, so that's no use. Gravitational potential energy, that's not been asked here. It's not been asked here, so it's always related to mass, always related to mass. So yeah, B is our answer. Third question is, the diagram below shows the velocity of an object before and after forces applied. The magnitude of the velocity did not change. Which of the following arrow represent the direction of the change in velocity? Okay, so cancelling out the incorrect ones, that cannot be in the opposite direction, not in the opposite direction, so we are left with A and B. The problem with A is it's not being tilted perfectly to the right, as we have got the vector problem after, so it shows a bit of an angle making to the right, but not perfectly to the right, so that will be B answer, so that's B. Moving on to our fourth question. Fourth question states that a ball of mass m is projected vertically upwards, and air resistance F acts on a ball at all times. Which of the following equation would apply to the ball as it's traveling upwards? Firstly, I'll draw a model. We know that the direction of the ball is vertically upwards, and the air resistance is also acting on the upwards. It's not acting downwards, so it's not cancelling out, so we can cancel out incorrect ones. That's done. Life is easier now. We all know that the velocity is not constant and it's changing, so it can't be equal to 0, so it can't be B. So the only option we are left with is D, and D is our final answer. The fifth question is, two objects P and Q are in the same position at time t equal to 0. The graph shows how the velocity V varies with time t for each object. Which of the following statements describe the positions of P and Q at t equal to 4 seconds? We'll go about the A option. P and Q are both at initial position. Okay, let's see. Object P is starting from 1 and object Q is starting from 0, so that's not the option. Common sense. Now for the B part, P and Q are at the same distance from initial position. Okay, let's see. It's moving downwards, going downwards, moving in the negative direction. That's okay, fine. The two areas does not match, so that cannot be the answer. The C part is P is further from initial position than Q. Okay, fine. But P, if we look at P, it doesn't even moves from the initial position, so C can't be our option, and D is our final answer. Common sense, guys. Just save your time and look at the options that closely match together. Sixth question is, a ball is traveling horizontally, so it's traveling that way at a speed of 7 meter per second. A ball hits a vertical wall, that's the vertical wall, oops, that's a vertical wall there, and it rebounds along its initial path at speed of 5 meter per second. The ball has an acceleration of 300 meter per second square while in contact with the ball. Which of these following expression gives the time of contact between the ball and the wall? So guys, the formula for acceleration we can use and change the subject to t. That's our acceleration formula. We know acceleration is change in velocity upon time. I'll bring a down and t up. A very good trick to know here that t can't be a negative value. So what we can do is just cancel out the negative ones. That's p and that's c down there, and even d. So we are left with a only. But I'll tell you why minus 5. Minus 5 is because the direction changes as it rolls back or rebounds in. So its direction changes and it cancels out the initial speed. So that's minus 5 minus 7 upon minus 300. Question 7 states that trolleys x and y of masses m and 3m respectively are traveling at the same speed towards each other. The trolleys collide and move off together. So this can be said as a inelastic collision. Which of the following statements is correct? I'll go about A. The force of x on y during the collision is greater than the force of y on x. So I'll check the masses. The mass of x is m and it's 3m, so it's not correct. The B option is the force on x on y during the collision is less than the force on y on x. Can't be said like that, because if they collide with the same speed, so I think I'll leave it on read. I'll move on to C. C part says the speed of x after the collision is greater than v. This statement is incorrect because they will move with a greater speed than v. So it can't be said the speed of x after the collision is less than v. Yes, this can be our option. D is our option. The 8th question is a motor with an efficiency of 68% is used to raise a load of 350 Newton through a height of 25 meter. Which of the following expression gives the energy supplied to the motor? So we have to take these terms in order with energy. So what we'll do is we'll change the 68% into decimal. So that will be, we can see that 350 Newton is the force and the height 25 meter is the distance, and we know that force into distance is work done and energy is related to work done, and work done upon efficiency will give us the energy supplied to the motor. So what we'll do is we'll check that's efficiency upon the work done. So we'll just clearly cancel it out, and we can see 68%, that's written as 68% only. We have to change it to 0.68. so D is our final answer. The 9th question says that a length of steel wire is fixed at one end and increasing force is applied to the other end of the wire. The force extension graph for the wire is shown. Okay, and moving on to the table. Which row of the table identifies points P, Q and R on the graph? Okay, fine. We can say that if this P can be the yield point, because that's the position when something is stretched beyond its strain, then it can't become return back to its original form. So I'll make things easier. We'll eliminate everything that's not P, so P is not elastic limit. We are left with C and D now. One more easy point I can tell you is that before yield point, elastic limit comes. Okay, fine, that's the point, that's the key you have to remember. And yep, that's C. We don't need to know anything else. 10th and the final question is, some students were shown a velocity time graph for the motion of an object falling through a liquid. That's the velocity time graph. The students suggested possible explanations for the decrease in gradient of the graph. Which explanation could be a reason for the gradient of the graph decreasing? A part is the drag force increases. Okay, fine, that looks strong contender. The B part states that gravitational force increases. Nope, we'll cut it off. Gravitational force never increases here. The temperature of the liquid increases. So even if the temperature of the liquid increases, the viscosity decreases. So that does not account for a gradient to decrease in that way. So no, that's not it. So the D part is the upthrust on the object decreases. The upthrust can be